Good afternoon. I'm Wendy Lowenstein, the director of the Omaha Virtual School. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this afternoon's commencement program for our very first graduating class of 2020. At this time, would you please remain standing and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I want to take a minute to recognize those who are here today to help us celebrate. Thank you to our honored guests. Please stand when I say your name. Superintendent Dr. Cheryl Logan, OPS School Board Member Mr. Mark Snow, Ms. Katie Lindquist, Dr. Fatima Fulmore. Please remain standing. Without the support of our superintendent, OPS School Board, and the many dedicated professionals in our district, our program would not be experiencing the success we have thus far. We are grateful to be a part of such an innovative district that understood the value of a blended virtual program way before COVID. So thank you. You can grab a seat. I would also like to acknowledge the staff of Omaha Virtual School and their efforts, and for giving up a Friday Jane's Day today. So please stand, OVS staff, kindergarten through 12th grade, and Ms. Kelly. Thank you. You know, their tireless dedication to our learners is what makes our program work. This is an amazing team of professionals, and I am grateful every single day to have them with us. Today, we are celebrating the academic success of our seniors. As I say, it takes a village. I really like to think of our program as a village, because like a village, our school community is built on strong relationships between our learning coaches, staff, learners, and its success is dependent on everyone doing their part. That said, if you are a learning coach in the room, can you please stand? I know you are. Thank you. Please stay standing. I want to talk to you. You are amazing. Your part and your role in our village requires you to serve as both parent, family member, and a learning coach. This is not an easy task. Most of us learned that during COVID, during the shutdown. I definitely know I did with my own 2 children. Your dedication to your children's education is phenomenal. You identified that a traditional learning experience was not the best fit for your student. And you sought out something different. You thought outside the box. You went outside the box and you found us. It takes courage to go beyond the traditional experiences and expectations that we all know and grew up with in the education. It's uncomfortable. It's a risk, and for that, I am forever grateful. Will those of you who have supported our learning coaches support our learners? Please stand up, and that will be the rest of you in case you're wondering. Thank you all so much for everything you have done. You can grab a seat. When I was preparing for today, I was just going to do a quick intro, keep it short and simple. Really, that was going to be the easiest way. But this morning, I was reflecting on our first year and every single year since the beginning in 2016. We have never taken the beginning in 2016. We have never taken the easy way. And we've never really been comfortable. Not our students, not our families, not our staff, or even the district, as we all work out ways to support a program, support learners in a program that has never existed before. It's been a lot of blood, sweat, and yes, I know there's some tears involved on all of our parts. That's why my gratitude is so great today, and promise that I would not cry. But one quote that I look at and think about often is from P.T. Barnum. Comfort is the enemy of progress. It is not lost on me, though, that he also created the first three-ring circus, so that's all right. At OVS, we don't take the easy road, and we don't do what everyone else does. We do things differently, and if you ask me, we do it better. No one really understands what we do, but I do. We work hard. We create our own path, and we are laser focused on our goals. We have high expectations for ourselves and others. Some may even say that our expectations might be unrealistic. When I was hired in 2016 to lead this program that would start in the fall of 2016, my motto was, yes, I'm doing, hashtag change the world, okay? I thought through this avenue and through this program, we could take a step towards changing the world. We're getting close. We're not quite there yet. Change, as I've learned, takes time and patience. But what I can say is that the change we have accomplished will be through you 10 individuals sitting over here today. Graduates, if you could please stand so we can give you a round of applause. While you're standing, this was a late addition, I would also like to recognize a special senior who has been with us since 2016, year one. Mr. Skylar Kellogg, can you just raise your hand? You're part of the OVS so thank you. It's been an honor to watch you learn and grow these 5 years. You, all of you, are the change. You will change the world through chasing your dreams. Work hard, create your own path, and remain focused on your goals, even if you haven't quite figured your goals out yet. I found a quote from Harriet Tubman that I wanted to leave with you. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and to change the world. We are so proud of you and are grateful to have been a part of your journey. So, with that said, you can grab a seat. With that said, I would like to introduce you to our Mistress of Ceremonies, our high school English and yearbook teacher, and senior advisement teacher, Mrs. Christmas Kitco.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Christmas Kitco, and I will be your Mistress of Ceremonies for this commencement. I've also had the honor of being a senior advisor teacher this year. Indeed, these are a special group of students before us, and they will be sorely missed. It is now my pleasure to introduce our graduation speaker. We wanted to have someone who could relate to our students, an example of where they wanted to be. We wanted someone who could shed a little light on where they are headed because she herself is there. Miss Haley Lundquist is a UNO student who has been working with our OVS students through a service learning program brought to us by our wonderful science teacher, Mrs. Utterback. Please welcome her.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Haley Lindquist. I'm a UNO student, and as mentioned, I worked on a service learning project with some wonderful students from OVS, including Vanessa, and I am really excited to be here today. So I remember my own graduation. It was recent, 3 years ago. And I just remember that day, I just had snot running out of my nose every 3 seconds because I had a killer sinus infection. Now, I was so sick that I thought I was going to pass out on the stage when I went up to get my diploma. And as I climbed the steps, I looked across the stage and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. And I did. And I'm telling you, I almost sprinted across that thing, grabbed my diploma, and got my butt back to my seat. And when I sat down, I felt a sigh of relief. I did it, and hey, I didn't pass out and make a total fool of myself. And that's the first time this thought came to me. Hey, I'm capable of more than I think. You know, my principal said something that day that kind of irked me. He said, today is the first day of the rest of your life. And I thought, wow, first day of the rest of my life, and I'm sitting here covered in my own snot. No, that's not why it bothered me. It bothered me because I had no idea what I wanted the rest of my life to look like. I remember after graduation, laying in my bed and looking over at my gown hanging in the closet, and I thought, man, just like that, high school's over. And I've got to start making decisions for my life because no one else is going to be making them for me. Now that's scary, because how are you supposed to know what to do when you're 18, when you're fresh out of high school? Well, I decided to look at my peers. A lot of them were going to college. Now, I thought about it, but no one in my family had ever gone to college before. I didn't have any money to go to college, and frankly, I just felt like I wasn't good enough to be there. But I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. And I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but I decided to do it anyway and applied to community college. And surprisingly, I did well, and I actually kind of liked it. And it came to me again, that thought that I had on my graduation day. I'm capable of more than I think. And then, as I saw my name on the dean's list each semester, I thought to myself, hey, anything's possible. So after I felt like I had conquered community college 1 year in, I decided to transfer to UNL. Now, this doesn't seem like that crazy of a thing, but it was scary for me. I was from a tiny town in rural Nebraska. And UNO and Omaha, it all seemed very big to me, probably not to most of you, but it was definitely scary. I moved here not knowing anyone, not knowing how to get around. Oh yeah, and I had no idea that traffic existed. So, it was a big step, but I just went for it. And I remember in one of my first journalism classes at UNO, my professor went around the room and she asked everyone what experience they had with journalism. The girl next to me had an internship with the New York Times in New York City the summer before. Other girl next to me worked at a super prestigious PR firm. And the guy behind me was an announcer for NPR. When my professor got to me, I almost laughed because I could only say I had taken 2 pictures for my high school yearbook 3 years prior. But that kind of pushed me. I felt like I didn't belong there. Honestly, maybe I didn't, but it pushed me. And I worked harder, I spent more time on the work I did. And by the end of the semester, my professor was using my papers as examples for the rest of the class. And I remember thinking, wow, this is good enough for the girl who's written for the New York Times? And it came to me again, hey, I'm capable of more than I think and anything's possible. Just this last year, I applied for a position at the Career Center at UNL, a job I was kind of underqualified for. And they hired a small group of students, and surprisingly me as well. And I remember my boss saying my personality is what got me hired, definitely not my resume. And one of the first things we did as a team was go over each other's resumes and critique them. And I saw that my team members' resumes were just so full and shiny and beautiful, and mine was empty, white space, nothing on it. So I thought, I'm just gonna go for it. And I worked harder, and when I had my first employee review, my boss said, we asked every single person on your team who's someone who inspired them and made them feel like they were part of a team. And he said, every single person said you, Haley. We need more Haleys in this world. I almost said, me, Haley? This Haley right here? Because I couldn't believe he would say that to me, someone who had no experience and didn't feel even comparable to the people around me. So again, I thought, well, I guess I'm capable of more than I think, and anything really is possible. Now flash forward to this year. Every time I had something difficult, I was scared, felt like I didn't belong, I always just worked harder. But this last year, with COVID, of course. I'm sure all of us have had some struggles, but I definitely did with school. My grades fell behind, and now I am graduating a semester late. I was wondering why I was pushing as hard as I normally do, but I wasn't getting the results I usually do. And I realized it's because I hadn't been taking care of myself. I was barely eating, barely sleeping, not seeing my friends. And I learned a very, very important lesson that I want you guys to take with you after this. And that's that no matter how hard you push, you have limits, and you have to take care of yourself. Your work will not be the best it can be if you are not taking proper care of yourself. So, whatever you're doing after this, whether you're going to college, say Metro, UNL, or maybe even UNO, I recommend it. Or if you're just gonna get some training, dive straight to a job, or just take some time to think. I just want you to know that it is so normal to be scared, or to be unsure, or to feel like you're not good enough. But I'm begging you guys to just go for it. Whatever it is you want to do, because you never know. You are capable of more than you think. So long as you put in the work, you take good care of yourself, I promise you, anything is possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Haley. We have some exceptional students here at OVS. And I would like to acknowledge that one of our students, Aaron Moreno, was selected for a special award called the Top Senior Award through UNO. Aaron was selected for this honor by his teachers, and we would like to offer him our congratulations. Aaron, please stand. Now it's time to hear from our valedictorian, and if you can't hear the smile on my face, I have had the pleasure of having this student in 5 separate classes, and she has crushed them all. Her dedication to her education is obvious in all of her work. Please welcome our valedictorian, Vanessa Denton.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Vanessa Denton, and I am beyond honored to be speaking to you today as the valedictorian of Omaha Virtual School's class of 2021. I would like to give my thanks to the school administration for allowing us to thrive in such a unique program. I also want to thank all the wonderful teachers that have helped us learn throughout the years and the supporting family and friends of every student sitting here today. We wouldn't have been able to do this without our support systems, so thank you. And another thank you to all my peers as well for all the hard work that you put into not just this year, but all the years before it. You will all hold a very special place in my heart. Today is a celebration of all of our accomplishments. After all of these socially distanced graduation parties and tearful send-offs, we are going to be pushed into a world that we haven't gotten to know too well yet. We haven't exactly come from a normal upbringing after all. We are students of Omaha Virtual School. But keep in mind that I say not normal as a very endearing term. We managed to get through our high school years entirely digital and in the midst of a pandemic. But we're unique as people too. We aren't going to be walking into an English classroom or an AP exam testing site anymore. No one is going to hold our hand or help us up when we fall down. We're going to be walking into the real world, full of taxes and student loans and making do for ourselves. And it is terrifying. We think that we know exactly what we're doing in our youth, but newsflash, we don't. Here's the thing, guys. Most normal people end up graduating from high school, putting themselves through college, and picking a job for a paycheck, not a passion. And the sad thing is that a lot of these people held wonderful dreams, but out of a fear of rejection, aversion of risk, or chickening out when it counted most, they decided to not act upon them. I am very well aware that just about everyone here has experienced some form of rejection in their lives. I know that I have for sure. You might have faced someone who told you that your dream was too reckless, or your goals were unattainable. Maybe even someone who was jealous of you that shot you down, saying you were crazy to even think you could do something like that. That you should just give up. But what do you think happens to the people who believe in those voices? Well, they become one of the many. They became normal people, and they allowed their dreams to die with them. From an outsider's perspective, we may look ordinary. In the wide spectrum of things, we might not be very special compared to all the other class of 2021s. But remember that looks can be very deceiving. Each and every one of us here possesses some unique gift, be it making clothes, having fun with animals, helping those in need, or writing stories. And we still have time in our lives to take care of our imagination and our dreams so we can bring them to their fullest potential, to our fullest potential. Of course, only if we're willing to. We can shape ourselves into the people we have dreamed of becoming and make a difference in this world. We can lead a life without regrets. Or we could waste our time, forget about our dreams, and become normal people. But please remember that if you let your dreams die with you, they will be nothing more than a regret. A constant reminder to all that we sold ourselves short. And if you're sitting out here thinking, well, Vanessa, I don't have a dream, then congratulations, because that means that you get to go and find one. No dream is too big or too small, and there is no such thing as stupid dreams. It's all about seeing what you want and figuring out how to get there. The world is all trial and error. You're going to meet many issues where none of your solutions work, but don't allow yourself to stop there. Keep trying until you find a new way of thinking, something that does work. Now, there are many things that I do not know the answer to. I've been able to learn many things through my 18 years of life, yes, but there are a lot of questions you may have that I do not hold the answer to. I can't tell you what our futures will be like 10 years from now. I can't tell you who you'll get married to, or if you'll get that promotion you'll eventually strive for. But there is one thing that I do know for sure. Dreams can last forever, but our lives do not. Don't be led astray by the influence of your friends, family, coworkers, or others. Be led by yourself and your heart to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. Before I go, I would like to share some life lessons that I've learned with you. If you had the ability to kick the person responsible for most of your pain in the pants, you would be the one who wouldn't be able to sit for a month. Alcohol and drugs don't have the power to cure sadness. Never eat s'mores after you go swimming unless you want to throw up the next morning. That's a personal one. Life is full of much happiness, but also a lot of rough times and tears. Be strong. Remember where you came from, but look to where you're going. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Thank you, Vanessa. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to move on. Thank you for our speakers today for helping us make today special. I'd like to present the Omaha Virtual School graduating class of 2021. Can you please stand? As a director of Omaha Virtual School, I acknowledge that they have completed graduation requirements of Omaha Public Schools. Mr. Smith, will you accept my recommendation of their graduation?
Thank you. On behalf of the Omaha Public School Board, I happily accept that you all have met the terms to graduate from Omaha Public High School. Thank you.
And now it is diploma time. Mrs. Pickup.
Yes, and now it is time for the graduates to receive their diplomas. Graduates, remember when you come up, greet us with fist bumps instead of handshakes. Miss Vanessa Denton. So, Mr. Aaron Moreno. Miss Litzel Halterman. Mr. Skylar Kellogg. Miss Lexi Palmer. Miss Jimena Ramirez. Mickey Santo. Miss Felicia Thomas Robinson.
Hey, Felicia. All right now.
Miss Shaylee Webster. Miss Aaliyah Williams. Graduates, please stand. You're all right, Aaliyah. I won't go without you. I promise. Students, you may now move your tassels. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduating class of OVS Graduation. Graduates and guests, the class song Am I Wrong will be played during the recessional led by our guests and staff on the stage, followed by our graduates. We will take a group picture in the hall and will return to the room shortly. Please enjoy cupcakes and water until we return, keeping in mind to keep your masks on unless you are eating. Here we go.
Thank you.
just do. Just 'cause everybody doing what they all do. I know I'm forward, I'm walking down this road.